What's going on, everyone? Scott here. Welcome back to the channel. So Michigan State basketball plays Auburn Sunday at 5:05 on CBS in a battle in the Elite Eight with a spot in the Final Four on the line. Now, Auburn is coming in with wins over Alabama State, Creighton, and that school down the road in this tournament to get to the Elite Eight. Prior to the tournament, though, they had lost 3 of 4, but have since got back to looking like the #1 overall seed in the tournament. Michigan State coming in after a win over Ole Miss on Friday night, where they struggled for a lot of that game to get the offense flowing, but they have wins over Bryant, New Mexico, and Ole Miss in this tournament to get to the Elite Eight. Now, before we jump into this matchup, if you could, hit that like and subscribe button down there. More Michigan State basketball content on the channel, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a video. Now, Auburn is obviously led by the player who is 1 or 2 for Player of the Year in the whole country, and Johni Broome averages about 19 points, 11 rebounds, 2 blocks on the year, and he's coming off of his best game of the tournament on Friday night with 22 points and 16 rebounds. Had a double-double in the first half. Did fall out, though, once the game was kind of already decided, so that could be something to watch in this game if you're able to put him in some advantageous positions to get him in foul trouble and off the court. And then Chad Baker-Mazara, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, about 1 steal, 38% from 3 on the year. Good off the bounce and getting to the basket, plays super fast, so need to contain him with the dribble, meet him at the dribble, meet him at the point of attack to kind of contain that off the bounce and getting to the rim. Tahad Pettiford, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal about on the year, 38% from 3 just about, and has had a really good tournament, averaging about 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, hit some big shots, and had some big moments on Friday night as well. Now, Miles Kelly, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 39% from 3. Denver Jones, 11 points, 42% from 3. Chaney Johnson, 9 points and 5 rebounds as well. And as a team, 84 points per game, which is good for 12th in the country, 37 rebounds a game, good for 57th in the country. They spread the ball around, almost 16 assists per game, which is 33rd in the country, and they only turn it over about 9 times per game, which ranks 12th in the country. They force around 12 turnovers per game, 168th in the country, and then 37% from 3, which is 56th in the country. And they're 38th in bench points, about 27 per game. Michigan State at 6th in the country with 34 bench points per game. They average about 10 fast break points a game, which is 161st in the country. Michigan State about 16 fast break points per game, good for 5th in the country. 127th in tempo for Auburn. Michigan State 163rd. Now for Michigan State, last game against Ole Miss, they did shrink that 10-man rotation down to 8 with Xavier Booker and Simone Zapala not playing. However, I definitely believe it will be back up to at least 9 in this one with the challenge of guarding Johni Broome. Now, just before hopping on to record here, I did see a tweet that Tom Izzo said that he expects to play both Simone Zapala and Xavier Booker in this one, which obviously we haven't seen besides, I think, towards the end of the game, in the Bryant game, we saw some spot minutes for Booker, maybe the end of the New Mexico game as well. But I did expect Simone to jump back into either the starting lineup, if not, I expect him to probably be back in the starting lineup, if not to, play quite a few minutes in this one with, as I said, the challenge of guarding Johni Broome. I think we're going to see quite a bit of him and Carson Cooper, who has been closing games here of late. It's either him or Jax at the 5, with Cohen playing the 4, which I believe is the best lineup, probably with Jax at the 5, Cohen at the 4. But definitely, I imagine a similar game plan to what we usually see Michigan State do with dominant bigs is let him get his, in terms of don't double down. Obviously, not saying you're just going to open the door and let him walk in for 30, 40 points. No, but trust your bigs in Coop, in Simone, in when Jax more than likely gets switched to the 5 in some of those lineups. But trust them, just defend them straight up. Don't double down or rake down, and allow him, if you do double down or rake down, don't let him be able to spray that ball out and, find open players on the perimeter for threes on those spray outs. So let him get his 30 and 14, but if you do allow that to happen in terms of not doubling down or raking down, you got to key in on the guards, which they sometimes usually do in these matchups with dominant bigs. So Pettiford, who's been playing really well, Miles Kelly, but Baker-Mazara is going to be an interesting cover here. I think we could see Cohen on him quite a bit. So I wonder if we get more of a lineup in the front court of Cohen and say, maybe Coop, considering we've seen a lot, Coop play quite a bit in this tournament. And as I said, he's been closing games. He had incredibly big shot just on Friday night. But Jax at the 5, I'm curious in this one how much we will see that with Broome on the floor. I'd imagine we'll still see that some with that smaller ball lineup, and Jax will guard Broome at times, but you maybe match those minutes when Broome is on the bench with putting Jax at the 5 when Dylan Cardwell comes in. Still a really good player, Dylan Cardwell is. I mean, he's a really good player, but that would be an incredible rebounding battle between those two, Jax and Cardwell. But it would be interesting to see that matchup there between Jax and Cardwell, should they match those minutes when Broome does go to the bench. But listen, in this one, what's the cliche in March is you got to have good guard play to win games in March. Michigan State's 4-guard rotation, Jeremy, Jace, Jaden, and Trey continuing to rotate and get after it defensively, but also getting into their actions offensively will be key. We cannot start out slow like we did on Friday night for the first couple minutes, but also the first half as a whole. We cannot start out slow like that against Auburn. They will jump all over that. And Jeremy and Trey driving, getting to the paint, and either spraying out to Jace, Jaden for threes. They need to hit shots in this one. Force Broome into tough situations on defense as well. We saw what that school down the road did on Friday night when Wolf got the switch with Broome and got him out the perimeter. That's when they were able to make that run, and why they had the lead in that game. They were one of the reasons they had the lead in that game, should I say. That's not the only reason, but they were able to take advantage of that, take him off the dribble, getting to the basket, and then obviously, as I said, Broome did foul out in that one. So bringing him to the perimeter, if we can force that, either with Cohen and force him to switch, say if we got Coop and Cohen on there, running some action to get the switch with him on Cohen, Cohen driving to the basket, either finishing at the rim or hitting those spray outs for, spray out to the corner, say, boom, boom, tic-tac-toe on the three-point line for open shots or drives to get more slips on the backside as well off of that. But I'm curious if they're able to force that action or if Auburn changes any of their defensive coverages on that, if he maybe doesn't come all the way up to the perimeter on those switches and they maybe tag off with a different defender there. But I'm curious to see how that plays out. But overall, shut off the water on the guards and wings for the most part. Johni Broome is an incredible player. He's going to get his, but make your free throws, defend, rebound, run. Or Torvik has Michigan State as the number 12 overall team in the country, 32nd in adjusted efficiency offense, 6th in adjusted efficiency defense. Now, they have this as a 76-70 Michigan State loss. So it's going to be a tight game. And the spread right now, Auburn opened as 5.5 favorites. It's at 4.5 right now. But listen, this is going to be a very tight game. Michigan State, as I said, they cannot get out to a slow start. They can't have these long stretches on offense where they're not getting things to go, not getting into their sets cleanly, and where they're just swinging the ball around on the perimeter late in the shot clock and just trying to make something happen. They cannot do that. They have to, if they can force the defensive stops, they have to get out and run, get to the basket, get to the paint. Controlling the paint in this one will be key, and controlling the glass, as we said in this one. They're a good rebounding team as well. So this is definitely going to be a battle. But Michigan State last game did get out-rebounded, and that doesn't happen. Like I said, I think you can probably count on one hand the amount of times that Michigan State got out-rebounded this year. So hopefully they come out with a little bit more aggression on the boards like they have all year. Got to control the glass, control the paint, and then you got to get into your stuff more fluently and quickly offensively. Can't be late shot clocking this thing and jacking the ball up, late, or trying to get into a shot super late. Got to get into your stuff early and get player and body movement early for Michigan State on offense in this one. And then you got to defend. You got to shut the water off and defend these guys, these guards, these wings. Really good player. They're the number 1 team in the country. They've been 1 or 2, whatever, for the whole year. They're the number 1 overall seed in this tournament for a reason. They are a really good team. Really, really tough challenge coming up against Auburn in this one. And I'm curious to see how Michigan State comes out in this one. Definitely in what seems to be a pretty much road environment. Obviously, a lot closer there to Auburn than to Michigan State. Michigan State always does travel well. They had an incredible crowd there on Friday night for this one. But listen, this is very close to Auburn. The crowd is going to be, favoring Auburn in this one. So Michigan State going into a hostile environment in this Elite Eight. Know there will be a lot of Spartan fans there as well, but can't wait to see how they come out in this one. You're 40 minutes away from a Final Four, so that'll do it for this one. We will be back with a recap of this one. So anyway, that'll do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.